Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. We've landed on Lunara, and two of the most wonderful ladies in my life are going to be helping me show off the character because I'm terrible at her. Lunara is one of the characters who I sat with a 30% win rate, sub 30. I think we were in the 20s for a little while, for quite some time. And although I've managed to climb from the ashes, I still wouldn't say I'm very confident with her. And with some of the people I've been playing with today, oh my god, the games you guys haven't seen. Holy shit. I needed a little bit of a boost. So Lunara was added into the game on December 15th, 2015. She was shown off at BlizzCon 2015 alongside Cho'Gall and Greymane, just to give you a little bit of perspective. She received a rework back in, I always get this wrong, May 22nd of this year. And with that rework, she had a lot of her talents shuffled around. At level 4, she used to have talents that were just dedicated to her Wisp, which is one of the most boring abilities in the entire game. They moved talents like Nature's Culling and Siphoning Toxin down from level 7, so you can actually pick those now, and kept really strong talents like Splintered Spear in place, which improved her playability quite a bit. Now, I would say that her build diversity has improved, but quite frankly, there's usually a correct choice at each of these talent tiers. The only deviations from that, I would say, at level 13 would be if you want to deal more damage to things, let them wither is usually the way to go. And if you want to not die, then Greater Spell Shield is the best way to do that. She has this weird talent called Abolish Magic that was moved from level 20. Basically, they just shuffled stuff all around. It's really strange. Lunara is pretty good, though, despite everything that I just said, sitting at a 53... No, that was Lieutenant Morales. I have multiple notes open. Yo, it is 53% win rate. What the fuck? Very similar to Lieutenant Morales, but only at an 8.3% popularity, so not played very often, mainly because she's very squishy. All right, let's go die.
The hunt is on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the brand new Garden Terra map today. The friendly team Lunara, Johanna, Lieutenant Morales, Artanis, and Tyrael. We could not ask for a tankier team. Like, holy shit, I'm our only damage. I have Immortals with me. It should go well, I guess. That is, unless, of course, Nova gets to me, who's on the enemy team, along with Medivh, Muradin, and Malfurion. Now, the real question, is this a smash variant? Is he going to fucking smash me? At level 1, I do like to pick up Natural Perspective. Nature's Toxin reveals enemies for its duration. This means that as long as we have our damage over time effect from our trait, Nature's Toxin, on a target, we will be able to see what they're up to. We'll be able to track them into shrubs, through the Fog of War, things like that. Makes it nice and easy. We do see a swap happening on Muradin to start the game off. I mean, I don't really think we're going to secure too many kills here, boys, but, you know, I can put my trait on stuff. I can slow him down. We have damage ticking on Varian, damage ticking on Muradin. We can get some damage here on Varian momentarily. It's just everyone's kind of taking damage, and these are kind of the engagements that we want to have. We did 3,000 damage in that engagement just because we're Lunara. Looks like Tyrael and Artanis are drifting off into the other lanes, so hey, back it up, can't get rooted. So I actually don't have to soak anything. That's a nice change. So the way I like to think about Lunara is that she is an AoE DPS. If you think about her that way, she becomes a lot easier to play, in my opinion. If you land your Q on a target, it will apply 1 stack of your trait. If you land an auto attack on a target, it'll apply 1 stack of your trait. And then your goal becomes keeping those stacks of your trait as high as possible on as many enemies as possible. So for instance, as of right now, I have damage over time on Muradin, on Furion, and on Varian, and all of that is ticking slowly, but surely. We've done 8,900 damage in this second team fight. The root coming out does put a little bit of a hamper on our plans, but you know what? It's not that big of a deal. We do need to spread out a little bit to make sure we don't give too many stacks of Master's Touch to Medivh for free. He is currently sitting at 8 out of 40. Does it go up to 40 now? Yeah. But oh no, everything's going fine. I'm gonna go back now that the objective is coming up and just get full mana. No reason to use our sippy cup because we can use it during the fight. Ain't no thing.
Choose a talent.
All right, we are going to go for Nature's Culling. Increases our damage to non-heroes by 125%. This was actually, like I said before, moved down from level 7, and it was really good. It allowed you to play Lunara on maps like Battlefield of Eternity with absolute ease. It allows her to just cleave lanes with no problems whatsoever, and honestly, I can't think about playing too much Lunara without this talent. Now, we do see the real Nova at the top of the screen running away. Is she going to get to safety? She is. But she actually tapped the sippy cup and is recalling with that healing, afraid of that damage over time effect. We're going to move our Wisp down. This is our E ability. And we're going to use this to scout out some of the bushes here that the enemy team may have access to, just so we know where they are at all times. We do see Medivh as a bird behind us. He is going to be interrupting some of the stuff that we're doing. Variant coming in on Lieutenant Morales. Nova trying to focus her down as well, but when you have a team of nothing but tanks, where are they supposed to go? This is a twin blade Varian! I mean, I'm kiting away. What's he gonna do? He's still protected, by the way, because of the Medivh. That's fucking annoying. The objective is still here. Maybe we can get a channel on it. Maybe we can't, but I'll try to scout out a few things with the Wisp. Murden engaging again to try to get that interrupt, but is going to be taken down. The portal from Medivh still here momentarily as well. But it looks like we're going to grab the first objective.
Intruders.
And maybe the kill on Varian if he's not too careful, if he pokes out again. So, great job. Now with this talent at level 4, we're going to be able to actually get a pretty good clear speed on mercenary camps if we wanted to push in for those. So let me read you what our trait actually does. Nature's Toxin. Lunara's basic attack and damaging abilities poison their target, dealing 40 damage a second for 3 seconds. Every additional application increases the duration by 3 seconds up to a maximum of 9. So these leaves that you see underneath the enemy team's health bars is the basically duration of the toxin remaining. Our Q ability is a skill shot that does a small circle on the ground. It's really hard to land, and it has an 8-second cooldown. It just does damage and applies our trait. W ability is Crippling Spores. Enemies currently affected by Nature's Toxin have its duration increased by 3 seconds. So if you get 2 applications of our trait on a target, this will make it 3 for its max duration. And you're able to basically apply an extra stack to everyone that you have your trait on, which is super strong. Use this after you have a few spores already spread out, and everyone's going to be hurting. For instance, this Malfurion right here. Nova is running up. I believe the real one is the one we just applied some poison to. And I don't want anything to do with that, so we're going to position ourselves directly behind all these beefy allies that we have, trying to stay safe. We do see the Medivh for the enemy team trying to get away. Can we interrupt it? No, we cannot. Medivh actually a really good counter to our character when he gets into that bird form, because he's able to stop all damage over time effects on his character. Now that Morals has been taken down, we're going to need to run away. We can slow Varian, but I can only kite him for so long. Tyrael looking low on HP here as well. We do have the sippy cup we can fall back to, which I'll let the team know I'm doing right now. I could slow down this Muradin so he can't body block Johanna too hard. I mean, we have a decent amount of toxin out on the map. Uh-oh. Nova. No. Okay. I think we might have to give this one up, boys. I think we might have to give this one up. That Artanis was unfortunately cut off from his escape because he couldn't move back because of the roots. We've done 27,000 damage in 6 quick minutes in this map. The enemy team knows we're here, but we see 3 people showing on the map, so they're not collapsing on it, and we'll just go ahead and take this over. Again, we have really good camp clear speed because of our level 4 talent. One thing I really like about Lunara is she was the first character to be added into the game that had alternating attack animations. So, for instance, if you're at long range, you throw your spear, you throw your javelin, whatever it is, at your enemy. But if you get in close range, she actually pokes at it. That was originated from Lunara. She was the very first one to have it. The objective is up again, the fake Nova. out on the map. Artana's going for a swap on the real one, not quite able to do it. Medivh floating in from the southern side of the map, and Muradin now showing up as well. We'll just go ahead and get a few auto attacks in on Muradin, not trying to go too far, not trying to do too much. But the Splintered Spear is our friend in this situation, if we can get it to spread properly. Gonna go ahead and slow down Muradin here, because I think he overstayed his welcome just a little bit. And we'll try to spread out our Toxin on a few more adversaries. Varian, Twin Blades, is coming in, and he's sitting on me. I could slow him down and try to kite just a little bit. But the friendly team already channeled the objective, so we don't really need to fight this anymore. I mean, if we can get some kills, great, but definitely not trading any lives for it. Now, I am focusing Muradin here, trying to get that stack up on him. Remember, Varian is like the Butcher. If he's auto-attacking you, it's probably time to move. We do see the real Nova here. She is going to take down our Lieutenant Morales, but I can take down her. And Medivh might be able to get out with a portal if he's able to get to it. But the poison is too strong. Now I can keep up the chase on Malfurion here because our character moves faster than movement speed. If I'm able to keep the poison up, we might be able to kill him, but it looks like he's going to get away. So if you ever take a look at the movement speed of Lunara, we go from everywhere from 170% down to negative 75 or something. What that averages out to as we're moving around is a 120% movement speed. Mount speed is 130%, so we're a little bit slower than actual mount speed. So for going long distances like we are right now, trying to get over to our team that's across the map, it's actually really hard to do. But for microing around a team fight and trying to deal as much damage as possible, it actually gives us a pretty big benefit. The stim drone is going out. Muradin missing his auto attack there. Okay. There's one protected, jumping over. That's the real Nova. Apply a few dots there. Get some dots out on Medivh. We have dots on every one of this enemy team right now, almost. Now we're going to need to hop over here just to get back to safety. Muradin not going anywhere from this point on, and Malfurion is going to be taken down because, motherfucker, you ain't protected. All right, let's try to get this objective for the home team. This will be 3 for us, which will give us an objective if we're able to claim it. The increased damage we do to minions, monsters, and mercenaries does help us obtain this. And if Medivh tries to interrupt, well, he's going to be hurting. That's 2 applications of our damage over time effect, and that's a dead Medivh, a dead Nova as well. Who stepped up too far. You're fucking with the wrong Lunara. 49,000 hero damage at the 10-minute mark. This enemy team is just letting me spread around these toxins and take full advantage over this damage over time. I have to say, I'm kind of enjoying it. Let's go ahead and hop over Malfurion here. We'll hit him with our Q and hop back over. That should finish him off. And now Muradin is doing some damage to me, but I'm feeling, I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel like I'm fine. I'm going to go ahead and try to focus down this building to the best of my ability. But when Muradin gets stunned, you better believe I'm just going to pump him full of toxin really fast and watch him run away. I'm completely out of mana, so I'm going to be backing up. Looks like we might get 2 keeps out of that objective. Not the best objective, not the worst. This is pretty much where I need to decide, what am I most afraid of in this game? Do I want to deal more damage, or am I afraid of the enemy team? And it might be a little overly cautious to pick up Greater Spell Shield, but I'm going to do it anyway. It is the best, excuse me, too much wide, best Spell Shield in the game. So we can pick that up. We're going to be very, very tanky for the rest of these altercations, and especially versus this Nova, who's capable of dealing a lot of burst damage. Now, the Medivh for the enemy team does not have his Master's Touch completed. And as I kill those walls there, it is worth mentioning that you probably shouldn't do that. He's going to be able to turn around and stun me if he really wants to, but the enemy team doesn't really seem to be reacting too defensively versus my really aggressive, trot there. I was just galloping right at these motherfuckers. Now, one little thing you can do with the Splintered Spear is quite simply, hold on, let's try to peel for our Lieutenant Morales here. I'm going to hit Medivh and try to focus him, so he has to leave. He's turning into a bird right now to re-enter the fight. We have our slow that's ready for Varian if he tries to re-engage. We're going to be putting a few applications of our poison on everyone here. So they feel the fucking pain. So they know what's happening. They know why it's happening. It's because you fucked with Harley. You don't fuck with Lieutenant Morales. Not with this team comp. Seriously, they're just diving her. It's really stupid. Don't do that. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Medivh just got out of bird form and started fucking clawing at her right now. Look at it, he's out of bird form! Oh, shit, too deep. What was that hop? That was awful!
Don't fret about the shamblers, they don't feel a thing.
Fresh as a flower.
Alright, the friendly team's backing up to grab this mercenary camp. We're gonna go ahead and take that over. Let me explain a few things here. So, at level 7, we got the Splintered Spear. The Splintered Spear makes our next auto attack cleave to 4 targets. We can then immediately pop our trait, and that means 4 targets are going to have 2 stacks of Nature's Calling, which is 6 seconds of a damage over time effect. Now, what you can do to increase the effectiveness of this is simply cast the ability whenever. So right now, I just use my Q. It has an 8-second cooldown before it's back up, but because I just used the Q, my next auto attack will spread to 4 potential targets. This means I have an AoE right here, followed by another AoE after I cast my W ability again because it's off cooldown. And you can kind of prime a auto attack cleave whenever you feel like it, which is really strong. Johanna kind of stuck off in the enemy team's base, and it looks like they are engaging on this right now. I'm going to use Muradin as a point to get out of here, cleave another auto attack, and start to focus these guys down to the best of my ability, shooting and scooting away from Varian, who's now focused on our Lieutenant Morales, but he has so many damage over time effects. Will he be able to get away? Of course not. No, he can't get away. But he's doing more damage than I thought he would. Holy shit. We do see Artanis going down, but not before we pick up a few kills on the rest of the enemy team. I'm going to go ahead and trot my way up to the top of the map to try to gather these seeds. Just a quick update. 51,000 siege damage, 82,000 hero damage. We have doubled the hero damage of the first place of the enemy team, which is that Twin Blades variant. Now if someone can come over and channel on this objective, that would be great. And I'll start working on this game. We are 3 levels up on the enemy team right now. Our ultimate that we picked up is the Leaping Strike. It has 2 charges, allows us to jump over targets and repositioning ourselves on the other side. This is what I was using versus Muradin to get out to safety. When he kind of moved behind me and potentially could have cut off my escape, I used that flank as a way to get to safety, which feels really bad when you're trying to actually body block Lunara. She just doesn't give a fuck. Now, since her rework, Leaping Strike has become... I guess it's always kind of been, but there was an argument for Thornwood Vine. Leaping Strike is now far and away the most picked of her heroic abilities. It's not even close anymore. Whereas before, I believe anyway, last year, it was actually a pretty close choice between the two. We're going to slow down Muradin. We have unfair advantage, which means, honestly, it's just bullshit. Nature's Toxin deals 60% more damage to heroes that are slowed, stunned, or rooted. So anyone that is slowed, stunned, or rooted in this game is going to take increased damage from our just passive damage over time effect that we're throwing out all the time. It's honestly really fucking dumb. We are going to secure the second objective of the map. It's going to be pushing in towards the keep in the bottom lane, the keep in the middle lane, and the fort in the top lane that this enemy team still has control of. What we can do is try to stride our Toxin down here in the bottom lane and then just push in down here and get some stuff for free. For instance, the Sippy Cup. They don't need that anymore, do they? Yeah, I don't think they do. I think that's mine now. All right, let's start backing up as they're starting to come back in to defend. We almost got the whole thing, though. Tyrael going in is going to be jumping in on Malfurion. We've already applied the slow effect to Furion, and he's feeling it, boys. Protected, by the way, is going to try to protect himself, by the way. There's nowhere to run. You're fucked. You can't hide. Get out of here. Actually, he might be able to heal. He might. Holly, shoot him. Shoot him, Holly. Shoot him, Holly. Meanwhile, the keep in the bottom lane has died. We can walk right up to the core of the enemy team and start to deal some damage to it. I don't know if we'll be able to break through all of its defenses. Actually, With Medivh and Furion down for this long, we might be able to. Oh, absolutely. Especially with this mercenary camp sitting behind us. So, within a year or so's time, I've gone from a 30% win rate with Lunara to being able to fucking do 91,000 hero damage in a game. Now, granted, I had a spot healer with me who not only knows how I play, but trusts my dumbass shot claws most of the time, so that definitely goes a long way. But if you would like to play the Lunara build that we played today, it's pretty standard. You're not going to see much deviation here unless you're talking about this defensive talent here at level 13. But we did go for a natural perspective, nature's calling, splintered spear, leaping strike, greater spell shield, unfair advantage at level 20. I most definitely would have gone for intensifying toxins at 3 stacks. Nature's toxin deals 40% more damage. This stacks with the unfair advantage that deals 60% more damage. You can deal 100% more damage with your fucking toxin. It's bullshit. This character's bullshit. Focus Lunara. Fuck everybody else. You need to kill Lunara. I've had a bottle of wine. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Hold on. Who's the next character? Maya! With Maya. Who I've only played once. Okay, bye!